Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is episode 3 of the Persona Iceberg Tiers 4 and 5. Quick disclaimer. Just like the last video, there is going to be a spoiler warning for this video. So if you haven't played any of the mainline games for the Persona series, I highly recommend you go do that. Anyways, with that out of the way, as always, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. First off, we have the last entry of the third tier I forgot to cover in the last Persona Iceberg video. P5 Xbox. I couldn't really find anything specific on this, except for some people complaining about Persona 5 being removed from the Xbox Game Pass, which sucks, because then they would have had to bought the game in order to keep playing. Even then, I don't know if their data would have been saved or not. It would have sucked to put so many hours into a game only to lose it all on something like this. Next, we have Tatsuya is the Reaper. This is an unconfirmed theory that states Tatsuya Sodu from Persona 2 is the Reaper that reappears in every subsequent game. The main reasons stated for this include the designs for both characters somewhat resembling each other. Other than that, I don't really see or know any of much evidence for it. Although I guess it's still possible it could be true. It's probably one of the things that'll never be confirmed one way or another. Next, we have Who Boy. This is in reference to when Jojo says, "Who boy" in Persona 5.
You know, when I was young, ooh boy. Adachi.
It's pretty funny, so it just became a meme. Next, we have Motorcycle Impression. This is referencing the fact that Tatsuya does a motorcycle impression in Persona 2, and it's a meme. Moving on, we have Trinity Soul. This is reference to a super obscure anime that takes place 10 years after the events of Persona 3. It seems people don't really like it, and it's been considered non-canon. I don't have anything to say about it because I couldn't find a way to watch it. Next, we have Frankenstein references. It seems that throughout the Persona series, there have been a number of references to the original Frankenstein book that most people don't really catch on, so it's pretty obscure. Most notably, the attendants of the Velvet Room and Igor all seem to be referencing characters from Frankenstein. Igor's original voice actor. This entry is talking about how the original voice actor for Igor in Persona 4 died, so they changed the voice actor in Persona 5. Obviously, there's lore reasons for Igor's voice change that gets shown at the end of the Persona 5. But once his true form is revealed, they have to use old clips of the original VA to create the voice lines of Persona 5. Although for the next installment, they'll likely have to find a new voice actor for the role. Or I guess they could use AI or something, I'm not sure. Next is deliberate leaks. This is just referencing the fact that Atlus has likely used deliberate leaks in order to stir up conversation about upcoming games. Multiple game companies have been theorized to use this marketing strategy. Maybe game devs get upset with publishers not letting them talk about their games, so they figure out ways to leak information to the public. Next entry on the list is Winter 2014 P4 Killer. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this entry is in reference to this Reddit thread from 8 years ago, where OP talks about how he was tricked into thinking Nanako was the true culprit in Persona 4 due to this fake image. Hey guys, it's me from the future. Apparently I was dead wrong about this. It's actually this teaser that said the game was going to come out in winter of 2014. Next is Smash Alt Meaning. I'm pretty sure this is referencing Joker's different alternate color schemes and how they correlate to the different Persona games. Purple for Persona 1, blue for Persona 3, yellow for Persona 4, red for Persona 2, and then the white and red one is for Crow. Next one is the P3 Twin Theory. This is just a theory that states that the male and female MCs for Persona 3 are twins, and depending on which one you chose, the other one ends up dying in a car accident where your parents were killed. Honestly, there's no real basis for this one that I could find. Manga. There is a Persona manga. I've already talked about it, how some of the MC's names changed in the manga. The manga also has a lot more light-hearted moments that I feel give more characters to the MCs than the game does. Persona 5 Original Pitch. I'm pretty sure I talked about how Persona 5 changed early on in development, and it was supposed to be a game about backpacking around the world, but that idea was scrapped with the 2011 earthquake that happened in Japan. Some people are saying that concept could get reused for Persona 6, but anyone's guess is as good as mine, honestly. Great Vegetables. Dojima says great vegetables in part 4, and it's funny, so it became a meme.
Great vegetables.
One of my favorite Persona memes, honestly, and it's also my banner for YouTube. Smash menu design. There's an interview where Sakurai talks about how he loves the menu design of Persona 5, and it's highly possible that was an inspiration for the menu design of Smash Ultimate. Smash Ultimate has this really unique main menu that's not really talked about enough. Makoto and Jojo remember PQ and PQ2. There's a theory that Makoto and Jojo remember the events of the Persona Q spin-off games. I couldn't find any real basis for this, although I guess it's like most of these theories, it's possible. Atlus is great at letting people reach their own conclusions when it comes to this kind of stuff. Lastly, for Tier 4, we have people stuck in Tartarus. I don't know why this is so low in the Icebergs, so if this is referencing something more obscure, I apologize. But in Persona 3, people can get stuck in Tartarus, and you have to save them. It's kind of creepy that if you don't save them, I guess they technically die, like a shadow gets to them or something. And if you don't rescue one of the characters that's important to a specific social link, that social link becomes forever broken. Anyways, that's it for Tier 4. Now it's time for Tier number 5. For the first entry of the 5th tier, we have Makoto was going to appear in Ultimax. There doesn't seem to be any evidence that Makoto was originally supposed to be in Ultimax. Obviously, due to the events at the end of Persona 3, that would be pretty difficult to do, and the community was pretty split at the time if Makoto should be added to the game or not as DLC. Obviously, Makoto is a fan-favorite character and the MC of the 3rd game, but some people were against it because it would make his death seem less significant. Also, I just want to say that we've reached to the point of the iceberg that the only information for these entries are on forums over 10 years old. And it's really cool to go back and look at these old posts. Anyways, next we have Persona H. Persona H is a fan-made hentai version of Persona 4. You're welcome. Akechi OVA. So there was an OVA for the Persona 5 anime at the time, which included a lot of scenes around Akechi that would become a part of the game in Persona 5 Royale. Apparently something similar happened with the scene of Kawakami trying on clothes that made its way into the game as well. Although I'm not really sure what came first. Was the anime based off the game or just released first? Or were the scenes in the game inspired by the anime? No one really knows. Next we have Revelations Persona. I don't know why this is so low in the iceberg, but this is just the first Persona game. That's it. Persona Q3 will feature P1 and P2 characters. Persona Q is the spin-off series on the 3DS that has yet to have a 3rd installment announced, although it seems it has a small but dedicated fanbase who really want a 3rd one. And some people think that if there was a 3rd game, it would feature characters from Persona 1 and 2. But let's be honest, this is probably never going to happen. Atlus doesn't want anything to do with those games. P5S Sequel Debate. Apparently, people are confused about whether Persona 5 Strikers is a sequel or not, and in what capacity. Which, I can't exactly blame them. It's not like Persona is the simplest game series, as I'm pretty sure you can tell that at this point. But in case you were wondering, Persona 5 Strikers is a canon sequel to Persona 5, but not to Persona 5 Royal. I know, it's annoying. The Taisho Era was extended into the 1930s. This is in reference to the Raido Kuzunoha games, which take place in the 20th year of the Taisho Era. In reality, the Taisho Era was only 15 years long and ended in 1926. If it lasted 5 years longer, like in the Kuzunoha games, then it would have made it last longer into the 1930s. Since both series share a canon, this means that in Persona, the Taisho Era was extended into the 1930s. Akechi Rat. In the code for Persona 5, there exists a fully functioning rat model for both Akechi and Sumire. This led some people to believe that these characters were originally supposed to be playable in Shido's palace until very late in development. A simpler explanation, though, is that you could fight Mott in Mementos, and he has an attack that can turn you into a rat. The rat models are still pretty cute, though, honestly. P4 Arena Joker. In the files for Persona 4 Ultimax, voice lines from the announcer hint that Persona 5 MC was planned to be a playable character. The announcer also has a voice line for a potential Persona callout for Mephistopheles, which was originally supposed to be the name of Joker's persona until it was changed to Arsene. P4G Anime is New Game Plus. In the Persona 4 Golden anime, a lot of people think that the anime takes place in the new Game Plus version of the game. This is because compared to the original anime for the original Persona 4, the Persona 4 Golden anime seems to skip through most of the events in the first game and anime and focus on the new additions. People also think Yu only uses Izanagi because it's level 99 from the previous run. Yu was an SMT IV. I don't know if this is a joke entry, but I couldn't find any references to this anywhere. Also pretty sure this is impossible due to how the canon works, although it's not like Atlas hasn't found workarounds in the past. Persona Jojo similarities. As I've talked about before, Persona and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure have a ton of similarities. Honestly, that could warrant its own video. Obviously, the most obvious ones are stands and personas, especially personas like Izanagi, which look just like a stand. Sojairo Pimp. Sojairo has that one hat that makes him look like a pimp, so it became a bit of a meme, but not as popular as some of the memes earlier on the Iceberg. Akechi Lives. There seems to be some debate as to whether Akechi lives or dies in the real ending of Persona 5 Royal, as in the true ending we could see Akechi being escorted away by men in suits, but this scene doesn't seem to be literal. There's also some people who think that Joker was able to keep the fake version of Akechi alive after everything goes back to normal, but there doesn't seem to be any evidence for this. Honestly, most of the theories surrounding Akechi being alive after the events of Persona 5 just seem to be cope. P3 music. I have no idea what this means. P3 has music in it? I have no idea. If you have any idea what this could be in reference to, please let me know. Stage plays. If you didn't know, there exists a number of Persona live action plays based on the games that are honestly really cool. I highly recommend you check them out if you haven't already. Yongenjaya IRL. Yongenjaya is in Persona 5, is based on the real life location of the same name in real life, and the game is extremely accurate to the real life version of the location. P1 PC port. There is no PC port for Persona 1. There is a PS1 version you can get with an emulator, but due to the localization, most people recommend emulating the PSP version if you can. I am currently in the process of trying to emulate these games, so I know a little bit more about the series and possibly even capture some gameplay, so let me know if you guys would like to see that. Lastly, for Tier 5, we have Nanakos Headphones. Okay, I genuinely could not find anything in reference to Nanako having headphones. There are some limited edition Persona 4 headphones. Also, something that wasn't even on any of the Icebergs I used is the fact that an older version of Nanako was in the beta version for Persona 5. I think I'm going to add some extra entities at the end of the series. Just stuff that I found in my research that I think is interesting and probably not that many people know about. Anyways, that does it for Tier 5. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I actually wrote a script this time, so hopefully it worked out well. I think I'm actually starting to get a hand of this thing when it comes to the quality and everything. When I compile all the tiers together for the final episode, I think I'll redo the first 2 episodes just so that they're consistent with the quality of the other videos in the series. It's really annoying to have to redo videos, but I feel like it's necessary. Anyways, remember to like, comment, subscribe. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.